despite the fact that Denzel Ward may not have lived up to the expectations in 2022, do you fully expect him to get back to the form he had in 2021, where he was considered a top 2 or 3 cornerback in football that landed him a top contract ever?
Getting a little nuts, Mike.
For a cornerback.
Will you cut it out? Cut it out.
Mike's getting a little nuts.
Okay. So, I've had a chance to have a conversation with Denzel, one day when he was at practice. This was during OTAs. When he came off the practice field, him and we talked for a little bit. And, he told me he was feeling really good. And I told him, after me telling him that, I got to grill him from time to time on the internet or on this show, because I got to hold people accountable, which he understood. We talked about this upcoming season, and he was just telling me how he felt really good. In the past, there was a lot of things that he had to deal with off the field and injuries and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, Denzel is one of the most, if not the most talented corner I've seen when it comes to just speed, flexibility. I mean, some of the plays that he make is just ridiculous. And it just kind of got away from that last year. It was a tall task. The defense as a whole wasn't great. And when you get a part of something like that, you can fall victim to it's just another Sunday. But I think to him, he understands that this defense can be the focal point of this whole team. You got a coach in here who believes in him, who's putting you more in man-to-man situations, who's allowing you to be you. You want to press a lot, they're going to allow you to press a lot, So I think he has the confidence back in himself again. And I think he sees that in order for this team to get where they want to go, he has to be that guy.
Yeah.
Like 1,000%, he has to be the guy.
And I think he can, Tyvis, but let's be fair. He's missed 20% of the games since he's been in the NFL.
Yes.
And he's never, I don't know what Mike's talking about, top 2 or 3 corner. He's never been a top 2 or 3 corner. Yeah. He's been top 10.
Yeah, top 10.
And that's what we need him to be.
Top 8.
And that's what he's capable of being.
That's what he should be. That's what I believe he will be this season, especially now that you incorporate that pass rush. If they don't get their hands on a lot more balls this year, it's a shame.
Healthy. He's missed it.
That's half the battle. That's like 80% of the battle for him.
He's missed at least 2 games every year.
Yeah.
And 4 of his 5 years, he's missed at least 3.
That's half the battle for him.
I think he can get back to that, man. Here's one thing I'm going to say about Ohio State players, and bear with me here.
Oh, here we go.
At Ohio State.
Wait a minute. Before you say that.
All right, go ahead.
Go Bucks.
All right. Let me get my Kool-Aid.
Oh, boy.
Let
me get this soiled water.
Tainted love. By the way, I'm going to say about this about Ohio State players. At Ohio State, it is such a pressure cooker that when you come to Ohio State, they got 96 dudes at your position.
That's not true.
They got 97. Like, they'll tell you, like, yeah, you good, but, like, they always got an All-American coming. Not all state, not all county. And
that might be true.
And then, if you don't do nothing really in practice like that, they'll be like, oh, yeah, you starting now, but you ain't got no production, so this other dude can come get your minutes. That's why when you see these dudes performing, these dudes be breaking their necks to get interceptions and sacks. And listen, just then people, if you don't play right away, they got to come out early. Look, Luke Whippler looks like a great center. They's like,
You see that? Ain't that something that he failed in the draft?
Ronnie Hickman gets all these picks. All of a sudden, he had 3 picks at all. He get picks now. What happens is that level of talent and that pressure cooker, and when it's good versus good all the time, that's how you get your program to be there. Sometimes when you go from there to the pros, to be honest, it's a step down. Think about it. Denzel Ward is a number 4 overall pick. It ain't never been no time that Denzel Ward has ever been in playing for the Cleveland Browns where he's been challenged like his minutes was ever going to get taken. Not once.
That's true.
Not once. He's always been the best corner on the roster.
Ain't that crazy? He came in Ohio State and he sat behind Marshawn Lattimore and Gareon Conley.
Posted. And guess what? He got
who always first round picks too.
Gareon Conley's been tweeting like crazy about high school football in Ohio.
Yeah, he's back. He's
Sorry,
back in the. He's in the. I think he went to either the XFL or the USFXL, or the USFL, which is great by him because he went through a lot. He has some injuries where they diagnosed that he has something wrong with his ankle. He had surgery for it. They found out that that's really not what was wrong with it, so he got kicked out the league for that.
It's a mess,
and he couldn't run.
Right.
It's crazy.
You see how quickly you can get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
talking about
crazy.
Denzel Ward was number 4. We start talking about Gary Conley. Like, look, we ain't even talking about Jeff Okuda.
GC.
We're like, we ain't even talking to him. So here's the thing. He gets here, and yes, he can be a top 5 corner. It's so hard to keep that fire, and it's so hard to keep that thing. When he came in, the first game I seen him play, he played against the Steelers, and they was playing against the Steelers.
Didn't he get like a
game-winning
pick?
Picks.
Yeah,
and he was in zone, and he was like, "Nah, I don't like what I just saw over there. I'm about to just jump his zone out." It wasn't even his zone, and I'm like, "That's what we need. We need guys playing the football, getting turnovers, being playmakers."
Well, let me ask you this, Bull. Who is your top 5 corners right now?
I don't even know that I can answer that question. And I think Denzel Ward is certainly capable of being. I agree with you.
Yeah, he's capable.
He hasn't been yet.
Yeah, well,
he's been really good, but he hasn't been top 5 yet. He
ain't been top. He has not have top 5 impact.
He's not been an All-Pro.
So 2020, he wasn't like.
He wasn't an All-Pro.
He got paid. What are you talking about?
But he wasn't because he's really good.
He had a good year in 2020.
As G. Bush would say, there's levels.
There's levels.
He hasn't reached that top level yet.
And you got to think about it, Tyvis. Is he on? If Myles Garrett is the number 1 overall pick, you the number 4 overall pick.
Yeah.
Whose production look like what? Myles Garrett is already the all-time
Denzel
lead
Ward's not going to the Hall of Fame.
He's already all-time lead sack leader. Number 4, he could be at least. I need at least 5 picks, 6 picks. He's shown it a little bit, and he got the tools. He got it. He just listen.
I don't think we're knocking Denzel.
No.
I'm not saying that we nobody here is knocking Denzel. I understand where y'all coming from. You're saying that he hasn't looked like the number 4 pick, and he should be. He has all the tools, but he hasn't put it together. That's what y'all saying.
Like Joe Hayden, right?
Yeah.
Joe Hayden got he did his thing. He went to Pittsburgh. He did his thing a little bit. Everybody in the world knows that Joe Hayden does not have the tools Denzel Ward has.
No.
Right. Not even in the same boat.
No.
But Joe Hayden wills himself with his little 4.6 40 and his little 4.6.
It was a 4.5.
He wills himself to get these picks. You know, I don't know how he does it with smoke and mirrors, but at the end of the day, you know, if Denzel Ward
I want Denzel to be an All-Pro this year. An All-Pro, not Pro Bowl. I want to be All-Pro.
Don't tell us. Look right in that camera.
We all know you're capable.
Put the camera on. Go ahead.
We all know you're capable, Denzel. Be an All-Pro.
You know those.
You're an All-Pro means one of the 2 best corners in the AFC this year.
You know those guys. Remember back in the day when Denver had the no-fly zone?
Aqib Talib, Roby, and Chris Harris Jr.
Another Ohio State guy. Roby.
Go Bucks.
Hey, but look, you feel this guy. Product placement is huge with this guy. Yeah. They should be paying you more. Listen, hey, by the way, they got the makings of that too. Look,
who are you talking about? The Browns? Oh yeah. Yeah, on paper it looks like that for sure.
Look, you see?
But the thing is, the no-fly zone they was strapping people up and they was getting picks. And it wasn't just the corners; it was the whole secondary.
Right.
They had safeties that was involved as well. And with this, they have it. I mean, they're going to have the opportunities. That defensive line play like they supposed to play. The interceptions should come. And this man right here on the screen right here, if he don't finish this season with at least 2 picks,
I need 3.
I mean, that shame on you. Shame on you.
To that point, Mike, you wanted to ask us like how we'd rank the Browns corners.
I did want to ask how you guys rank the Browns corners heading into this season.
Denzel 1, MJ 2, and him G-New 3.
I agree.
I thought you was going to say rank the secondary in the league since Tyvis was here. Like, is they in the top 10?
The Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah, they top 5.
That's great.
We
top 3.
No.
Top 5. Who you got above them?
Dallas.
Okay.
Philly.
I disagree with that. By the way,
You're already wrong. You disagree with Dallas?
I think Trevon Diggs is one of the more overrated cornerbacks in football.
That's fine. That's fine to think that, but a guy who gets you picks is you can't never look at it like
Give me that ball back.
Anybody, because that is the single best thing you could do as a defender is get the ball back. How is that overrated?
PFF as much as anybody.
What is he talking about?
We can't constantly just go. We went to the point where everybody used
I'm
to
not
ignore
going off just
PFF.
PFF.
Now that's all we look at.
I'm not going off just PFF.
Who they got?
They got Gilly. They got Gilly the Kid on
He gives up big
the
plays,
only
though.
defensive
Mike's
player
right.
of the year
He's
at
so-
corner.
But Mike is right. He's so aggressive that he does give up a lot of big plays.
But he also gets you picks.
All right, but sometimes
So we got Dallas,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it was like, and real quick, it was like the whole Asante Samuel, Darrell Revis beef on Twitter a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
where
that was hilarious.
It was funny. And Samuel had a bunch of picks. He also got burnt a bunch. Diggs, just like he takes, he also gives away in big plays too.
But to me,
I want my
Asante Samuel-
cornerback to be more consistent than a guy who
So you rather
has the high-low variance.
So you rather have the cornerback that gives up that get beat maybe here and there. I say if it's 17 games, he only get hit for 100 yards 2 times out the season, but he only has 2 picks on the season.
Do you want me to tell you what PFF, since we talk about it all the time, what they have?
I thought you just said don't look at PFF, Bull.
I didn't say don't look at it. That's not the only thing. But
That's what he said. He
it was
said
the first thing that popped up.
All right,
No, I'm just
Here's
messing with you. Yes.
Now, they went with whole secondary, not just corners.
Okay.
So they have as the best secondary projected the Jets.
I don't know who the Jets safeties is. Then that's my problem.
Jordan Whitehead and Chuck Clark.
That sound like 2 construction workers.
I mean,
Chuck Clark used to be on the Ravens.
yeah. I mean, they're
I don't
good.
care who he is.
I wouldn't trade Sauce Gardner for any corner in football right now, would you?
Outside of Pat Surtain.
I'm about to say, I trade him for Pat Surtain.
Okay. How old's Pat Surtain?
1 year older
He's
than him.
1 year older. Those are the 2 best young corners,
All right.
in my opinion.
Sauce Gardner don't really scare me.
And if J.C. Horn ever decide to stay healthy, he'd actually be really good.
All right, so they got the Jets 1, they got the Dolphins 2.
Well, Ramsey's hurt.
Their corners
Ramsey, I can't.
Ramsey,
I can't put. I was gonna say them, but they can't because he's hurt.
this was done a couple months ago.
Okay.
They have
All right.
Ramsey, Xavier Howard,
Yeah.
Javon
Yeah.
Holland in the secondary.
No, they
Number
good.
3, the Eagles, who I mentioned.
Okay.
They got
No
their
problem.
corners are Slay, Bradbury, and
Bradbury.
Avonte Maddox.
I ain't got a problem with them.
That's solid.
Number 4, the Broncos. Your boy Patrick Surtain, who you mentioned.
I don't know who opposite of him.
I don't
Damari Mathis and K'Wan Williams.
My boy
know. K'Wan Williams
KK
was
like
here.
that. Yeah, KK like that. He good.